That's an important question. There are really two questions. One, you read the press, and the commentators, intellectuals, it's called a huge new era we're entering a new era. The leading correspondent of the New York Times, Thomas Friedman, wrote an article about we're entering a Promethean era, new era of discovery, understanding. It'll put all the past behind us. Well, there are basically two questions. One is a question about science, one a question about engineering. They're different. One question, can these systems contribute anything to science? Can they teach us anything about language, about learning, about human cognition, and so on? The answer to that is flat no. They are designed in principle so they can teach us nothing. They get better at doing what they're doing, it'll bring out this fundamental flaw more evidently. So that's the science part. Then comes the engineering. And here's where your question arises. Like any engineering achievement, a hammer, a bulldozer, then nuclear energy, chat boxes, whatever it is, you can ask, is it useful? Is it harmful? The technology doesn't care. Take a hammer. The hammer doesn't care whether a torturer uses it to beat somebody's head in or whether a carpenter uses it to build a house. And it's the same with every other technology. So what about these things? Well, we know they have a lot of harm. That's already been demonstrated. And it's barely beginning. They're terrific techniques for disinformation, defamation. It's already been tried a little bit. I don't know if you saw the caricatures of the Pope. It's pretty easy with modern technology to put together chatbot, visual manipulation, voice manipulation, and put together a simulation of you that'll look very real, saying some horrible, idiotic thing. It's easily possible. So there's going to be plenty of that. A ton of disinformation, especially as soon as big states and other big power centers become involved. One of the worst parts is it preys on human gullibility. People tend to think that these things are real. They start asking them questions. Should I leave my wife? Should I change my job? And they get back some totally ludicrous answer, and they follow it. There are plenty of cases on record already. I mean, there are even people who do that with things like Alexa, ask it questions, somehow thinking somehow it's real. It's R2D2, a little cute little robot who answers your questions. That's very dangerous. There are other dangers, plagiarism, for example. I mean, basically, chatbot is high-tech plagiarism. It's just scanning tons of material and sort of duplicating something like what's there. But it can very easily be used for students who want to fake their way out of courses and so on. But I think that's one of the minor dangers. There's other ways to deal with that, like make the courses interesting so nobody wants to fake their way out of it. That's the answer to that. But if you have a stupid course that you're not interested in, why shouldn't you fake your way out of? But these dangers are quite real, as you probably know. About a couple of thousand of the major workers in AI have recently called for a moratorium on their development because they're afraid of the negative consequences. There are some useful consequences, like these things have tremendous computer capacity, search capacity. and they've been used to help solve some real problems. Like there's a major problem in biology about how proteins fold. You know, the DNA provides information that causes proteins to take a particular shape. And the problem of working out how they do it, and it's been a very hard one. There's just a lot of computing involved. And the computing capacity of these systems has helped to resolve that problem. So like I say, technology can be valuable, can be harmful. It's up to the communities who control the technology to decide which way it'll go.